All right, this is Flory Park. Uh, this land was donated to this town by Bob and Agnes Flory. Okay, and there's a second part of this park that used to be an Amish house. I'm doing the first part. Now this back there, this Eastwood Meadows. This is high, the summit. Okay, we're on Greenland Drive. You come down here from South Oak, off by that corner. That would be the McDonald's. You come down by the McDonald's and you make a T. There's a T there. You make a right and you come down this road here, and here's the entrance. And when you come down here, it's going to sort of look like it's private, but it's not. Okay, this is a public park, and this was once a quarry. Okay, now it's winter time. It's like 3 days before New Year's Eve for 2023. This is the last few days of 2022, and it looks kind of rustic without the green, it's winter time, so all the brush has died off, and then it looks like they used a brush attachment or spinning chains to chop up some of the weeds, and it looks pretty nasty right now, but this looks nice. Now you see that rock right there? That's left over from the quarry, and when you walk around the neighborhood, you'll see rocks like landscaping, and it's all from this quarry, and some of the rocks have a hole drilled in them, and years ago they used to have a signpost in there, and it would point to the recreation center, which no longer exists. But High owns it now, and High has separated its part of his company between steel and real estate, and they've been buying up a lot of properties. But this here is where the quarry was, or part of the quarry. You can see more of the stones. The town stacked these stones in here, and then they didn't like the way they did it, and they come back and redid it again. And so these stones, these are not natural right here. These stones, they've actually been stacked by, I actually know the guys, Mark, Dwight, John Brooks was here then, and then there's one other guy. Well, anyway, that's original. Okay, if you look at that real closely, that's a piece of the stone, the natural from the earth, and that's what they chopped up and made basically foundations for the houses in the area. And right here, I don't know if the way the camera's on it, you can see drill marks. There's 3 drill marks there, and then they put their black powder in there and they blow it up. And see, here's extra stones. And if you walk through the neighborhood, you'll find stones from this quarry. And I told you they have holes drilled in them, and they originally had signs. Now, we're coming down into Flory Park itself, and you'll know you're going in Flory. These 2 old sycamore trees, they're really old. And you got a walking path here, and down there that's Mill Creek, and Mill Creek runs through parts of Lancaster, mostly in the Bird Hand, Smoketown area, and down through here. And this section we're in now is considered Greenland section of Lancaster. It's an old section, and the other side of this park, which, see that path down there, that goes to the other side. That's over in now I'm going to forget the name of it. I'll think about it later. But anyway, it goes to the other section over there, and if you come here, park your car, make sure you lock the doors, and you can rent this. I'll come down here. You can rent the pavilion down here, and people have birthday parties down here. They have reunions down here. The church groups do different things down here. Right now, this park doesn't look good because it's winter time, and that basically Mill Creek there has bass in it, largemouth, smallmouth. It's got rock bass. It's got catfish in there. It's got something else in there too. Big turtles, snappers, American snapper turtles. But hopefully the camera's, the stabilization's working good. This is my newer camera. It's got some stabilization because I have a funny walk, and my right foot funks on the ground. It makes the camera jump, and I'm hoping it takes some of that out. And I tried walking smoother, but I can't if I don't swing my right arm. So holding the right arm up is probably part of the problem. But here's the walking trail, and then of course you have the rules for the park. And this is a dog-friendly park. Here's your waste station for the dog. You get your they're out of plastic bags, but they usually have plastic bags here, blue ones for picking the dog crap up. We'll say dog crap, dog waste. But it's a pretty good park, and there's people down here all times of the day. And there's 2 ball fields here. People play baseball here, softball. There's no soccer field here. If people come down, they practice soccer here, but they don't have a soccer field. Okay. Now, up here there's a flag post or flag pole, and at the bottom of it there's a memorial for Bob and Agnes Flory. And like I said, they donated the property. This was mostly corn in here. That's the back of my neighborhood over here, Eastwood Meadows. And these are the condos back here. I own a semi-detached, which is a half a duplex. I don't own the whole thing. I only own one side. And here's the flagpole. And then there's a little plaque there for Bob and Agnes Flory. But a lot of people in this area have never been in this park. They live one block from here, and they've never been down here. It's really weird. Here's Flory Park. It explains it there. Okay, and then people, a couple times a year, you'll see people come down, put flowers there for Bob and Agnes Flory. Here's some more rules and regulations. Oh, here's a dog waste station with the blue plastic bags. This park's pretty good, even though they're not maintaining it for the winter. They do come down and check it out. And we do have homeless sometimes under that pavilion there. There's been a homeless guy there for a few weeks. And it got real cold and he seemed to disappear. And he makes a mess. Some of his mess is still out here on the path. Yeah, it's funny thing about the homeless. I understand that they don't have a place to go, but the messes they leave behind, and they move. When they make it, they screw an area up and then they take off. This was one of his garbage bags here, because this park is usually nice and neat. Now this little kiosk, that's actually a word, kiosk. And was that a hawk? Now, you probably saw it in the frame. This is a kiosk, and it explains the waterway, Mill Creek that goes through here, and the different things they did to prevent erosion. And they're trying to restore it because all these creeks go down to the Conestoga Valley, Conestoga Creek, river, whatever you want to call it. And they're trying to get the quality of the water up. When I first got here 15 years ago, there was a beaver living in that Mill Creek, and he was going and chewing people's trees on this backside here behind that building there, and somebody shot him. And there used to be, when I first got here, there were foxes in this park. You'd see a fox run across, and then there were muskrats. And I haven't seen one of them in years now. And during the morning, if you get here early, there are deer in here. There's the second side of this park. In between, there's a wooded area, and there's a house up there, up in the park. And when those people finish up or pass on, they're going to leave that piece of property to the town also. But that pavilion there, I don't know, the sun's kind of in the face of the camera. That pavilion there was built by the high school kids years ago when I first got here. But here's your ball field. There's 2 ball fields here. And hopefully they're supposed to put a walking path from this park all the way up to the other park. It's going to go around the back there. You go out that way. And there is a walking sort of trail there, but it floods. It needs some drainage. And that walking part back there is actually some of my property. What it is, it's a common area. All these houses here are condos. We all own that common area, and we have to pay to maintain it. It's like $10,000 a year. Well, it's more than that. It's like $15,000 now a year to mow the lawn. But this is Flory Park, and you can adopt a tree, I guess. And they put a memorial plaque on the tree for someone in your family. I don't know if they're doing this anymore, but this was real popular back in New Jersey. Memorial plaque for someone that has passed on. You plant a tree in a memorial for them. And then back there, you notice all those trees. I don't know how good this camera is, but those trees are basically a nursery area. And when the town needs a tree, they come down and they dig it up. And when I first saw it, I didn't know what it was. I come down here one of the first snows, and they had put those trees in a few weeks before. And it looked to me like an obstacle course for skiing, because all it was plastic poles. But the plastic pole forces the tree to grow upwards like 3 foot, 4 foot high, and then sprout its branches. All right. It also keeps the deer from chewing the bark on the tree and killing the tree until the tree can get established. That's some pretty interesting stuff. Now, people asked me once before in my neighborhood, how come there's no swings? Well, the swings were in bad shape, and they took them down, and they never put them back up. I don't know if there's a liability or what, but this is what you have. You got like a little jungle gym, very safe. People come down here with their families on the weekend. They take a walk, and like I said, there's a second part. And the last time I did this video was with a different camera, and it's one of the videos I deleted. But I just wanted to come down here and get an idea how good this camera does work. But right now this park is, it's dormant for the winter. All the picnic tables are chained up and put away, and in the spring the picnic tables come out. And, they did plug the ground. They rode around with this thing, and it takes plugs out of the ground of dirt, and then they come in with their fertilizer. And then that has rained so much, all that, you don't see the plugs anymore, or the holes. We had a lot of rain, but today it's going to 50 degrees. That's why I'm down here. And hopefully this works. I think that's it. All right, that's it.